This is Jonathan Agave here, pro boxing fans. With me, Nigel Travis, fireman, actor, boxing coach, the lot.
Jack of all trades, master of not very much. Yeah, jack of all trades. But yeah, I've been boxing. Boxing is why you're there. So that's what it's all about, I suppose.
I mean, talk to me first of all about sort of how it all compares, how you manage it, juggle it, being a fireman, being a boxing coach. Yeah, talk to me about how you sort of manage that.
I have a very understanding wife who allows me to be out of the house and such quite a lot. So I'm a full-time firefighter by trade, and that's what pays the bills. So it's firefighting that allows us to live where we do. But I've been a boxer all my life. Been a boxer, amateur, pro, albeit crap as a pro, but boxed all my life. My dad got me into it. My dad was the GB boxing coach, so boxing's been in my family all my life. And then while I was in London at the Fitzroy Lodge, Mickey Carney, a TV company came in and asked us to audition, which we did, and I was successful in getting a part. And then that led me on a journey of acting or being involved in TV and film work. So I've done that since I was 22, so 15 years, but no, 25 years. Crap at maths.
Should have just stayed at 15.
No, but yeah, I've done it for a few years, and then the more you do, the more you get. But boxing's my other woman. I have a relationship with boxing, and that's who I call on a daily basis. Obviously here at Astley, VIP, and I have an amateur gym down at Moss Side Fire Station Boxing Club, which is a gym to help to engage with the local kids and keep them out of trouble and give them direction.
Yeah, obviously see you've got the jacket on, the Moss Side Fire Station jacket. Talk to me about how that came about, how you see sort of the future going for it, as you say, helping young kids in the area. Yeah, talk to me about how that sort of came about and your future plans for it.
We started it 11 years ago, or nearly 12 years ago. We started it of an idea. Two colleagues of mine who were both firefighters, Curtis McClarty and Mike Dillon. We discussed engaging with the kids. The firefighters were getting a lot of stick locally, getting bricked, getting assaulted by reprobates or by people who didn't know anything else. So as a way of engaging with them, we decided to set up a gym. So we opened it one day a week, with the idea to open it once a week. But that once a week quickly became twice a week, 4 times a week, and then we started opening every day. Because the more we did, the more people came. So we just started doing fitness sessions, and then that developed into boxing sessions, which developed into competitive boxing sessions. And now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of members. Our plans are massive. We're a registered charity now, so we've got a charity number, and we are now. We've just got planning permission to expand the building. So I'm currently waiting for a lease to be drafted and written by the Greater Manchester County Fire and Rescue Service and the Combined Authority. So the fire service have supported me and the gym for all these years, and it's essential that carries on, because that's where they're going to save the lives of these kids. But the more that we can engage them and give them some sort of positive direction, give them some positive role models, and try and raise their aspirations to change their life with what could happen and does happen. You know, we're not stupid. There's a lot of noise go on locally and around, but that's only because the kids maybe don't have the people teaching them how to live. So boxing is what we're teaching them, but that's just one part of it. You're teaching them life skills and teaching them about respect and discipline and having the courage to say no to certain things. And that's the difficult thing, you know. There, but for the grace of God, go I and go goes to anybody who hasn't had the right direction. I've had mother and a father who've given me those life skills and given me those rules and those boundaries, what's right and what's wrong. Some of these kids in my gym and in all gyms around the world, they don't have those people, and so boxing coaches become those people to a lot of kids, and it's admirable that anybody, for anybody who gives up their time to engaging with other people's kids. So some of the times I know more about my boxers than I know about my own kids, which is unfortunate for my kids, but as I say, I've got a very supportive wife who keeps the home fires burning and looks after the house, and she works, and so she's the gaffer of our house, and I'm the gaffer of my gym, so that's my limit. But it's the right thing to be doing, and God willing, it continues and grows, and we want to engage with as many people as possible.
I mean, from the perspective of helping kids out, as you said, who perhaps didn't grow up with the same knowledge as maybe you or us, how important do you think boxing is in sort of teaching that discipline for young kids who have grown up in tough environments, but how much do you think it can help? It can help?
I think it's essential in some, not in all. Boxing isn't for everybody. Boxing attracts a certain type of person, whether that's male, female, and there's no boundaries. So to age, sex, colour, creed, nothing at all. It's, anyone can do it by having an expensive pair of boxing boots, or expensive pair of boxing shoes, or boxing gloves, or boxing gum shield or head guard. Doesn't make you a better fighter. It makes you, it means you may be able to afford that, but that doesn't dictate how you're going to react and how you're going to engage. Boxing's not just about fighting, competing. Boxing's about life, because you have to get into a boxing ring with someone you don't necessarily know, maybe like, and it's done with complete respect. You have to obey orders by your coaches who tell you what to do, by the referee who tells you what you can and can't do, and it's gladiatorial. That's why it attracts certain people, and egotistically, some people want to be tough, want to act hard, and so people, that's why they maybe want to hang around with boxers, because it attracts a certain element. But the rules that it takes and the respect that it takes to get in the boxing ring, and there isn't many people who can do it. There's many people who sit outside watching boxing with a cigar and a pint of beer saying, "You're crap, get on with it," but they can't do it. So it attracts a certain element of people, and boxing is not about just the competing. It's about the training. That's where fights are won and lost, in the training element. But I think it's fundamental to many things. Years ago, generations ago, it was in the school curriculum, and I'm one who believes that it should be back in there now. And it was taken out because of the injuries that are sustained, and obviously the intention of boxing is to hit, to box, to incapacitate your opponent. But that's the last thing in the world. It's just about hitting and not being hit. So there's an art, there's a gift, there's a skill to it. And then when you finish, win, lose or draw, you touch gloves and you become usually friends. Some of my greatest friends in the world are the people who I've punched holes out of for years, and they're still my friends now. But I think it's essential, and I believe that the more boxing clubs in areas where deprived areas is only a good thing. And you'll also know if you've got a good boxing knowledge, that it's only the rough areas that produce really tough champions. There's not many white collar or posh boxing enthusiasts who are good. So it's a poverty area. You don't need anything. You just need to be able to fight. And these kids in my gym and other gyms around the country can fundamentally fight. They can fight for the very existence, because usually they come from deprived areas, and so that's why I think they should be, it should be definitely back in the curriculum in my view.
Now, before we continue talking about the boxing, I spoke to you a bit off camera about your acting career and Peaky Blinders. For those that don't know, How did that sort of come about?
I did it in London when I first started 25 years ago. I first started, as I say, someone came in the boxing club, took a few photos, asked us to read a few lines, and so I did it, was successful, and got the audition as such, and they paid me, and it was like, seemed sort of easy money. It was just a laugh, but when I came back to Manchester, I just carried on doing it, and the more that you do, the more you seem to get, the more contacts you seem to get. So I was asked to go and read for this drama as an audition. I had no idea what it was. It was called Peaky Blinders. I had no idea the significance of it, and because it was unheard, no one knew about it. So I didn't research it because it's a bit of a silly name, Peaky Blinders. What does that mean? And then when I went to the audition and met the director, I got the part, and the director, while I was talking to a fella called Otto Bathurst, who directed the first block on Series 1, said, do you know anybody else who looks like they can have a fight? And I said, I've got a gym full of kids, so yeah. So I sent him loads of pictures of people in the gym, and he didn't fancy anybody. And then one night, myself and Jamie and our wives were having a drink, and I took a photo of Jamie and sent it to Otto Bathurst, the director, and he said, who's he? I'd like him to be in it. So, and that was it. So Jamie came up, just helped me. We drove up together, and was part of the Lee family, who I was supposed to be one of the gaffers of, and that was it. So it was Jamie's acting debut. He had the best whistle, Oscar for the best whistler on TV. But yeah, it was a laugh, but I've done it for a few years, and it isn't my main income, and occasionally I get stuff and it's a laugh, and I'd love to do it. I'd love to do much more of it, but it's just a timing element. I'm a full-time firefighter. I'm a full-time boxing coach, amateur. I'm a full-time professional boxing coach. So I've got 3 full-time jobs. So to have any more is very difficult. But it is what it is. When the opportunity comes, I'll do it. And it's good fun to be involved in. And really, egotistically, it's about people see you more on television because of boxing, not because of being an actor. And then when they do see things that are rerun, they're like, I've just seen you in something about cannibals, and I'm like, yeah, well, something I did years ago. So, but it's fun, and it's not. I don't take myself too serious on it. It's a laugh, and very enjoyable.
Okay, let's now go on to the boxing side of it. One man I've spoken to today, Conor Todd, 3-time national champion. Talk to me a bit about how far you see him going. He's really touted as one of the hottest amateur prospects in the country. Just talk to me a little bit about him, his plans, and I've heard he's set to compete at the Olympics hopefully in 2024.
Yeah, that's the dream for him and for me. He's been with me since he was 8 years of age, 12 years ago, and so he's a shining star of the game. He's a lovely kid. He's very grounded. He's just won the GB championship, beating Aaron Bowen last month. Aaron Bowen being the ABA champion, and Conor beat him in a very competitive bout. He's on the GB setup, goes to Kazakhstan in the morning, and the world's his oyster really. His potential is great, but potential that doesn't work hard is not worth anything. I take hard work over potential any day, but he's got a good work ethic. He's been involved at my gym, as I say, while all my gym's been open, all the time it's been there, and I'm very excited about him. But yeah, obviously the world's his oyster, but anything can happen. You need a lot of luck in this game. You need to be guided by the right people, and I hope I'm part of that team who guides him. I've got a great relationship with him. He's like family to me, as are a lot of my kids. He's just got to do the hard work, and he comes here quite a lot. And you've interviewed him today. He comes here quite a lot to spar with Rocky, Fielding, Martin Murray. So I think he's in the right place, and then he goes up to Sheffield and trains with the best kids in the country, Anthony and Joshua included. So I mean, you can't be around that sort of talent and not learn. And I would say the same, being here, training with the likes of Frampton, Catterall, Rocky and Martin. It's great to be among that, and you can only benefit from that, and I believe Conor's doing that. So I'm excited by him, but if he stops boxing today, which I hope he doesn't, but if he did, then he's a better person for being involved in boxing, which is really what it's all about. Boxing changes these kids' lives, and it changes his life now, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to him. But that's boxing. So if he went into it, I'm lucky he was in my club when he was 8 years of age. But I expect him to do good things, and I'm very hopeful for him.
Another one of your fighters I've spoken to this morning, Aqib Fiaz, the unbeaten lightweight, 4-0, 4 fights this year, debut year. Talk me through it. I mean, as far as years go, unbeaten. Talk me through his start to his professional career.
Yeah, it's the start, and 1 year in the game, he didn't start boxing until March. He got his licence in March, so 4 fights from March onwards. It's not bad going in 9 months. I'd like him to be as busy, if not more busy, this year. He's fighting, getting a bit of exposure, hopefully, on the 7th of March on the Matchroom show at Manchester, where Scott Quigg's fighting John O'Carroll. So that's a bit of exposure for him. The kid sells a ticket. Kids have got bags of potential. Kids a pleasure to work with. Gives you 100% every session. Will do whatever you ask him, and that's a dream to coach someone like that. And very talented. I knew him as an amateur, and he beat Conor Todd, so you can see the size of Conor. So Conor Todd, they boxed when they were babies, when they were 12 years of age. Conor was 54 kg, as was Aqib. Aqib's now still only 61 kg. So Aqib's not grown, Conor's grown. So, but they boxed. I've known him a long time, been friends with him a long time, and I know his brother and his team when he was an amateur. But yeah, he's again very excited about him. But it's the work ethic he's got. He's second to none. So that we expect him to do very well.
Now, just moving on to the other members of the gym. Obviously, you are with Jamie Moore, sort of his right-hand man, I think it's fair to say. So let's start with Jack Catterall, on the verge of a WBO world title shot against Jose Ramirez. Speaking to him, it's obviously a situation where he is waiting for the winner of Ramirez and Postel, but then you've got Josh Taylor, possible undisputed fight. What is sort of the plan? Have you discussed it with Jamie on where Jack goes? Obviously managed by MTK as well, but what is sort of the plan with Jack for this year? Is it just a run-out fight, just to keep him busy? Speaking to him, he's not really looking at taking a huge risk with such a big fight coming up, but what is your understanding of the situation?
It all depends on the Pistol fight and Ramirez fight. So he's mandatory to fight them, and he's been told his next fight is for the WBO world title. So it would be suicide to jeopardise that with anything else. But kids very, very, very keen to be in the gym. The kids so eager to learn all the time. He's always willing to do things, to try things, because he wants to get better. So again, another consummate professional, and it all depends on who wins between Pistol and Ramirez. Whether they want to vacate as soon as they box him, I don't know. As soon as they box each other, they could do that, and then there will be open for Jack to fight somebody else. But we've discussed it, the plans. We're very excited about him. He's very, very, very talented, and again, he's got a fantastic work ethic, and but he's very gifted, and I believe that he's definitely one of the best light welterweights in the world. And the logical fight for us will be for him to box whoever to become the WBO champion, and then to have a unification fight with Josh Taylor to become undisputed champion of the world, and that's a great fight for Britain. But whether that materialises or not, there's a lot of problems that can get in the way. But he's with MTK, who have got a lot of fighters in the current setup. So it's just a matter of doing it. It's just a matter of him staying in the gym, keeping fresh, keeping ready, and then when the phone call comes, capitalising and winning the world title, which is what we believe he can do.
Is it just remaining focused, and when you get the call, you get the call?
It's very difficult it's very difficult to keep him interested, of course, because he's been told his next fight is for that WBO title, but and then when it doesn't happen, we've been told that he's been manager for a while, but he's just got to be ready. He's a professional kid. He really, really is. And whatever we've asked him to do, he's done. And it's as I say, it can be a struggle, keeping people happy, keeping people involved, and keeping them in the gym, because they can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And Jack's not like that. Jack's just seems eager and keen to learn at all times, and that's again another refreshing. We've got a gym full of them, we've got a gym full of kids who wanna do it. So that's really it's a dream to be a coach of those kids.
I mean, two more fighters that are as well on the verge of world title shots. Chantel Cameron as well, that WBC title shot with Jessica McCaskill, and Cole Frampton on close, we understand, to a fight with Jamel Herring, the WBO super featherweight champion. First of all, talking about Cole, what's your understanding on that situation? Do you think that fight will happen sort of in May time? It's been talked by Bob Aaron.
Yeah, I believe so. They're both with the same promoter. Jamel Herring got in the ring when we boxed in Vegas. So it's the logical fight for them. Herring wants it, and we initially were discussing, because he's a New York boy going to New York, but he's keen to go to Belfast, so it makes it a little bit easier to make to Windsor Park. He was talking, so Bob Aaron mentioned doing it at the SSE Arena, but there's a lot of people who want to see that fight, and they could sell the SSE Arena out 4 times over, so they may as well do it outside. Obviously, with the inclement weather being as it is, you can't always gamble, but he boxed at Windsor Park against Luke Jackson, and it was a fantastic occasion, and one that it did rain a little bit, didn't seem to spoil. It was a fantastic occasion. So that's what they're looking at again now. So I think they're in negotiation. That's what it seems to be. And again, it's above my pay grade. What has been talked about. And it doesn't matter. Carl will be ready. He's had an operation on his hands. He's had them mended. So he's currently in rehab on it, making them stronger. Working on it. So it's just a matter of him getting in the gym and pushing on. And we'll have a 12-week program. Which is a long program, but I think they're looking at May, June, but it remains to be seen. But he'll be ready. Chantel, she's mandatory again for McCaskill. At both, or not even McCaskill, she's mandatory at lightweight and at light welterweight. But the McCaskill one, again, there's been discussions about it, and they're looking at, hopefully, maybe the end of March, along those lines, to compete wherever that may be. So again, it's just about, when you're a boxing coach or when you're a boxer, it's difficult because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and it can get very frustrating about how you get these fights made. But people are having discussions all the time, and it isn't as easy as just saying, yeah, let's fight. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, TV, contracts, promotional companies. It's difficult, but again, it's just a matter of waiting for the phone call to say, but Chantal will fight anybody, and we believe she can beat anybody. We really do. She's primed at either lightweight or light welterweight to win a world title, and that's what she's desperate to do. Even though she vacated her IBO a lightweight title, but she's ready to when the phone call comes.
Ryder perhaps challenging for the regular belt. Is that sort of level you anticipate Rocky being at?
Yeah, definitely. Once you've had the taste of that big time, it's very difficult to revert to smaller shows. Even though Rocky's not opposed to it, Rocky will do anything to get himself to reach the heights that he once did and wants to return to. But yeah, I believe he boxed on the MTK show in Liverpool, and it was a devastating finish. Really, it just destroyed the kid. But so he's eager to return to where he's been, and again, it's all about discussions, negotiations. They've been talking about a few kids who are big names in the sport, but it's a business, and you have to ensure that you can secure your futures, and that's what they're doing. So Rocky was supposed to be in this morning, but they closed the M6 because of an accident, and that's the problem when the kids don't live on the doorstep. But so he went to his local gym, to his amateur gym, the Stocky, and now they're but Martin's been in. Martin's also waiting for the phone call. It's a real tough thing because the gym's buzzing. The gym, they're all eager to learn and happy to be involved with each other. But there's no definites in the book yet. So as soon as it's definite, then everything changes. The intensity changes immediately. So at the moment, there's a lot ticking over. We've got things in the back of our mind about plans, about who's going where and when, and how far that training needs to be, pushed or not, as the case may be. So everyone's got a plan. Everyone you've mentioned there, they've all got plans and it's all about how they achieve that and then become champions, regain champions. But it's exciting times for Astley BIP professional gym. So we're very, very happy where we are.
Just picking this back up, just talking about Martin Murray. When I was at that press conference in Liverpool for that MTK show, Jamie described him as sort of the Roy Keane of the gym, as it were. But Martin said he's not really rushing and desperate for world title shots. He's still going to take it one fight at a time, see if he can maybe win another title, whether that be world or not. But yeah, just describe what Martin's like. Is he the Roy Keane of the gym?
Yeah, he's just he's a bit of a heartbeat of it. He's he's like Roy Keane. Football's not I'm not the greatest. I can't give you that. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's just experienced at every level, and again a pleasure to have in the gym. And he's someone I boxed with him. We sparred together. We trained together at Oliver's gym. So I've known Martin a long time. And then when we started training him, he seemed to, his passion and fire seemed to reignite. It really did. And I'm sure. Listen, you'd have to ask Martin how he feels, but I'm sure he feels that it's given him a new lease of life being at a different gym, and the change is as good as a rest. So he doesn't need to rush back into it, but he's also a big name who people may want to, maybe to call him out or at least challenge. They'll know he'll be a challenge to anybody. So I believe that big names will come because they may see it as a soft target because he's obviously in the latter stages of his career in the last year, 2-3 years, whatever he's got left. But he's not talking like that, and we're not talking about how long he's got left. He's enjoying it. He's been in today. Just to tick over, so he knows that the phone call could and probably will come, and and would love to take him to America and maybe spread his wings over there, and because there's a lot of big names over there, and so someone who who challenged for the world title, as he has on a number of occasions, and really should deep down be maybe world champion, should have won it. But listen, the politics of the game, and Martin's not a bitter man. He's a glass half full kind of guy, rather than always being a glass half empty. He's a very positive guy, and he's always got a smile on his face, and he's again another pleasure to have around the gym. So the likes of Conor Todd and Akin Fiaz, they can learn a lot of Martin Murray about his professionalism, and boy can he fight.
And someone else who's got a lot of experience as well, Tommy Coyle. He's not in today, but we last saw him against Chris Algieri on that Joshua Ruiz undercard. What's his sort of future looking at? Does he want to continue on, or have you spoken to him at all?
Tommy will fight, 8 days a week. He just fight whenever he could. Everything, all good things come to an end. So Tommy's not, it's not for me to make Tommy's decision for him. I'd love for Tommy to finish because, he's our mate. He's the kid we've trained since the start. Just me and Jamie on our own with him, and now, it was the latter stages of his career. And obviously, he's been with these kids a long time, but the latter stages of his career. Not that it was coming to the end, but the latter stages of it. And then all of a sudden, you got Carl Frampton, Rocky Fielding, Mike Murray, all in the same gym, and so his passion grew, even more, and that's when he won the Commonwealth title. So it just shows that how a change of circumstances can really benefit kids. But Tommy's got business interests away from boxing, or away from competitive boxing. He's doing some great things with the kids up in Hull, and Tommy's a grafter, and will can earn money, can sell sand to the Arabs. He really can, But I hope he finishes. I hope he's done. But he hasn't. It's not for me to decide. We love him to bits. He's our friend first and foremost. Love his family. His beautiful kids, his missus, mum, dad, brothers. They're like family to us. So he's a diamond. But obviously he's got to make decisions for himself on what happens. So and I hope he's done.
I just want to touch on Jamie Moore. Obviously, we saw his pro career as British Commonwealth champion, but just touching on him as a trainer, do you think it's kind of a testament to him? You've got guys like Jack Catterall, Chantel, all on world title shots. Is it sort of a testament to him? I mean, he obviously got recognised in 2018 as Trainer of the Year, but yeah, what would you say about Jamie as a trainer?
He's just very, very good. He knows the game intimately. He's competed at every level. Never boxed a world title, which a lot of people would moan about and feel sorry for themselves. But again, that's not Jamie. He's a cracking trainer. We have a great team around us, and Jamie's the boss really. It's Jamie's gym. We do things together, but we do things differently as well. He's not an enforcer as such. Doesn't need to shout at people, and that's my way. I'm a shouter. But my bark's worse than my bite, I suppose. And Jamie moved the opposite way around. But now he's very, very quiet spoken and very knowledgeable. It's a pleasure to bring my amateur kids up here to learn with him, because it's not. He's opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, because of his experience. But yeah, he's very, very knowledgeable and can do it. And we like to have the gym to be everyone to be smiling, because obviously if you're happy to be at work, then it's easy to be here. So everyone seems to enjoy it, and they seem to be learning. And we don't proclaim. Jamie don't proclaim to be the best in the world. He won the Trainer of the Year, rightly so, in 2018. And again, I'm very proud of what he's achieved, both as a fighter and as a coach. but also as a friend. So he's a pal of mine. Our wives are pals, our families are pals, so it's like a family thing. So I'm bored of him, to be honest. I'm sick of socialising with him. I need some new mates. I need some way more interesting mates. But Jamie's top.
Brilliant. Just taking away from the gym for a minute, the big rematch coming up in Las Vegas. I want to get your thoughts on Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. How do you see that rematch playing out for the WBC heavyweight world title?
It's a tough one. I believe that Fury won the first one, definitely. I think the fact that he got knocked over, I think he could have, if that fight was in England when he went over, I think they'd have waved it off. So I think he was fortunate that he was over there, and they gave him the time to recover, and boy did he recover. I think he beats them all, Fury. I really do. It's a tough one though. Wilder can box. Wilder can fight, and he's got amazing power, but he can also box. He's been in the game a long time. Was a very good amateur. Came over sparring David Hay a long time ago. Bashed Audley Harrison up. When I knew him when I was doing a little bit of work with Audley, because my father looks after Audley, and so I was aware of him a long time ago. So I've always been knowledgeable of him. But he's got ferocious power, and that's the key to it. Him. What he can't hit, he can't hurt, and if he catches up with him, he'll hurt him. So it's when or if he hits him. Other than that, it's Fury all day long. Fury will keep it long, and I think he's talking himself up by saying he's going to knock him out, and I think it'd be suicide if he stood still and had a fight with him. But I believe that Fury will get it long and box the ears off him.
Finally, motivation. As you say, you're a fireman, jack of all trades, but what keeps you motivated? Is it sort of helping these kids in the Moss side? Is it your work with Jamie and the rest of the guys in the gym, chasing world titles, etc.? What is it?
I think this is an extension of my work in Moss side. Moss side is where my heartbeat is, because I've started that from nothing. I just finished as a pro. I've not succeeded as a pro. It was crap. Didn't do well. I was an old man, and to keep involved, I just thought I'd give it a go. So this is an extension of that. So the kids see you here, see you working with the likes of those names we've talked about: Carl, Martin, Rocky, Jack, Chantel. They see you working with those people, and then they want to aspire to be there. So this is just an extension, but that's my heartbeat. It is my side. First and foremost, I'm a husband and a dad to my wife and my kids, and because of their support, they allow me to do the hours, the countless hours that I do in my side. But that's where I know my value is at my side, changing those kids' lives, and hopefully those kids can then come and immerse themselves here at Astley, and then make a living for themselves, and then be successful. But the living is the end of it. The end result, kids earning a living, becoming rich, doing well, and the likelihood of anybody doing that is very, very minimal. So there's a lot of luck involved in doing that. But the fact that they're in my gym, changing their lives, making decisions, then that's where my passion comes from. Where that's my driving force. But it's the gaff of my wife who allows me to do it. So I'm thankful of both those things. I'm thankful. I've got a lot to be grateful for. My missus, my kids, the fire service allowing me to, in the space, getting me the lease and all that, and that then in turn helps me with Jamie to be here to train these pleasurable kids as it is. It's like it's not a work, it's not a job, and I get to see the world, I get to see the world for nothing, and it's just the best thing in the world. So I'm living a dream. I'm genuinely blessed and living a dream.
Excellent stuff, Nigel. Thank you very much for giving us your time today, over half an hour, and look forward to absolutely not. I look forward to coming back up, seeing the rest of the guys. Should be an interesting and successful 2020, you'd imagine.
We're excited. The immediate ones, Carl, Chantel, Jack, they're the immediate excitement, and you cannot be. And there's plans for Rocky, Martin, Mark Leach, Stephen Wall's come back in the gym as cruiserweight. The likes of Conor Todd to go onwards and upwards. So yeah, listen, we're very, very, very hopeful and excited about the future. So praise the Lord.
Excellent, Nigel. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll catch up with you soon.